2026 has been a big year for K-drama couples. Today, we're taking a look at all 46 confirmed K-drama couples, from how their relationships began to where they actually stand right now. Kim Mu-yeol and Yoon Seung-ah. They started dating in 2011, and the relationship only became public because of a drunk tweet meant to be a private message to her, confirmed by both agencies in February 2012. They married in April 2015 and welcomed their son in June 2023. Now, 14 years in, they're back in the spotlight for a reason that has nothing to do with anything new. His breakout role in Teach You a Lesson sent fans digging into their history. The old love story resurfaced, and it went viral all over again. Byun and Jung-jae. Theater kids who fell for each other through the stage, they went public in January 2026 after bonding over Grease and years of shared musical projects. No big agency reveal, no dispatch photos, just two people who clearly understood each other's world and eventually stopped pretending it was just professional. The next couple has been married since 2005 and makes 45 look like a warm-up. Kim Seung-woo and Kim Nam-joo. Married since 2005. 2 decades of individual careers, 2 decades of keeping their family life completely out of the noise. They're both industry legends, and somehow they've built a version of celebrity marriage that doesn't constantly need to prove itself to the public. That's rarer than it sounds. So Ji-sub Jo Eun-jung. He was one of the most famously committed bachelors in the industry. Then he quietly married a former reporter and stepped almost entirely out of the spotlight as a couple. No variety show appearances together, no perfect marriage performance for the cameras. They just seemed genuinely happy to exist without being watched. Fans were skeptical at first. The skepticism didn't last long. Lee Jong-jae Lim Se-ryung. He's global royalty after Squid Game. They've been together for years, and the one question that follows them everywhere, will they get married, has never seemed to bother either of them. They've built a life that works. At some point, the question stops mattering. Cha Tae-hyun and Choi Soo-kun. Over 30 years together, married for 20. She was his first love, 3 kids, not a single notable rumor in 3 decades of public life. In an industry that runs on relationship drama, this couple's entire story is the absence of it, and that somehow makes it more impressive than most of the confirmed romances on this list. Coming up, a couple who went public in 2024 and made the rising star relationship look genuinely effortless, Lee Chae-min and Ryu Da-in. They didn't even have a romance on screen in Crash Course in Romance, which makes the real-life relationship even more interesting. Both of them are rising fast, him with Hierarchy, her with Pyramid Game. They've managed to be public about the relationship without letting it become the main story of either career. That balance is hard. They're making it look easy. Byun and Tiffany Young. An actor and a pop star, connected through Uncle Samsik and completed their marriage registration on February 27, 2026. 2 very different corners of the industry finding each other and making it work. Fans are still processing the wedding announcement. The internet has not fully recovered. Han Jae-suk and Park Sol-mi. Married since 2013, met on a set, built a quiet life, never tried to monetize the relationship through variety appearances or couple content. They just exist together, and that's the whole story. In 2026, that kind of restraint is genuinely refreshing. Lee Byung-hun and Lee Min-jung. They have been through more public scrutiny than almost any couple on this list, and they keep choosing each other. She has a YouTube channel now where glimpses of their actual life come through in a way that feels more real than most couple content in this industry. They're not performing a perfect marriage, they're just in one. Ji-yeon and Vata. Variety show energy meets the dance world, and the chemistry has been impossible to ignore. The sightings are stacking up. The internet detectives have been working overtime, and at this point, the official confirmation feels less like a question and more like a matter of when. Eugene Ki Tae-young. They met on Creating Destiny in 2009, got married in 2011, and have been quietly raising their daughters ever since. The SES icon and the drama actor, nobody saw it coming, and then it became one of the most stable pairings in the industry. They don't chase headlines. They never needed to. Kim Hee-sun and Park Joo-young. Married since 2007 and somehow kept it almost entirely out of the public conversation for nearly 2 decades. No couple photo shoots, no joint interviews, no deliberate visibility as a unit, just 2 people who decided their marriage wasn't content. Respect. Gong Hyo-jin and Kevin O. a K-drama icon and a soulful musician who seem on the same wavelength in a way that's hard to perform. The detail that stands out: he enlisted in the Korean military specifically to secure a stable future with her. That's not a small decision. They've carved out a life between New York and Seoul, and it suits them completely. Kwon Sang-woo and Sun Tae-young. Married since 2008, 2 kids, massive individual careers, and the kind of relationship consistency that makes them easy to forget about, in the best possible way. They don't need to remind anyone they exist. They just do. Kim Hee-ae and Lee Chan-jin. Married since 1996. She's one of the most respected actresses in the country. He's a tech entrepreneur. They've been together for 30 years without ever making the relationship the story. That's not luck. That's a decision they've made, over and over, for 3 decades. Jung-hoon and Han-gain. Married since 2005, and still the visual couple people reference when the conversation turns to who's aging gracefully together. They protect their family carefully, appear publicly when it feels right, and have never seemed interested in performing their relationship for an audience. The spark still reads in every photo. That matters. Cha In-pyo and Shin-hye. Over 30 years of marriage, 3 adopted children, decades of charity work, and they still look like they're in the early chapters of something good. They've had hard seasons. They came out of each one looking stronger. This is what commitment as a daily choice actually looks like. Byung-hun and Park Soo-jin. The massive 2015 wedding was everywhere. Since then, they stepped back significantly, which, based on how long they've lasted, appears to have been exactly the right call. Sometimes the only way to keep a relationship is to stop sharing it. Song Yoon-ah and Kyung-gu. Married since 2009, 2 serious actors, significant public criticism in the early years that they absorbed without collapsing. They've built something that works on their own terms, and the privacy they've maintained since is clearly part of why. Han Ji-min and Choi Jung-hoon. One of 2024's most unexpected confirmations. She's been famously private her entire career, and then the Janabi frontman appeared. The creative pairing makes a certain kind of sense when you think about it. There were breakup rumors. Both camps dismissed them. They're still going. Ha Jung-woo and Cha Jung-won. Quietly linked, deliberately private, no couple content, no interviews about feelings. They let the connection speak through occasional confirmed sightings and leave the rest alone. In a year full of loud relationship announcements, this one operates on a different frequency entirely. Choi Soo-jung and Ha-hee-ra, married since 1993. They are openly, unapologetically devoted to each other in a way that some people find over the top and others find completely wonderful. They've talked publicly about miscarriages, about the hard years, about choosing each other through all of it. Whatever you think of the style, the substance is real. So Yi-hyun and In Gyo-jin, married since 2014 and still one of the most watchable couples on variety television, not because they're performing, but because the best friend energy between them is hard to fake over a decade. They're messy and funny and clearly still like each other. That's the whole thing. Lee Chan-hye and Hyo-jin. Married since 2011 and built a life that looks more like an independent film than a celebrity marriage. Artistic, low-key, unbothered by visibility. They march to their own rhythm, and it shows in everything. The work, the family, the public appearances they choose not to make. Yoo Sun-ho and Shin-soo. Fresh, early, and light. 2 rising stars who are clearly enjoying whatever this is without letting it carry the weight of a fully public relationship yet. The future of this one is interesting to watch. Quick pause. Where are you watching from right now? Drop your country in the comments. I always want to know where this channel actually reaches. Cha Seo-won and Uhm Hyun-kyung. They played a couple in Second Husband and then went ahead and became one in real life, expecting a child and getting married while he was finishing his military service. The show literally never ended. They just kept going. Jo Jung-suk and Gummy quietly registered their marriage without a ceremony. No big event, no photos, no performance of the occasion. They have their kids, they have their careers, and they seem completely unbothered by what anyone thinks a celebrity wedding is supposed to look like. Top tier. Lee Do-hyun and Lim Ji-yeon. The glory couple, and the pairing nobody fully predicted. Here's the detail that makes this relationship interesting. Before he met Lim Ji-yeon, he admitted in a 2019 interview that he once broke up with a girlfriend specifically to feel the pain of losing her for a role. His character needed to carry the grief of missing someone, so he created it. His exact words, I really don't know why I did that back then. He was 21. He's grown significantly since, confirmed his relationship with Lim Ji-yeon publicly without hesitation the moment Dispatch caught them, thanked her by name during his Baksong acceptance speech while in military uniform, and she reportedly visited the camp to shut down breakup rumors in person. She's been waiting. He's been vocal about it. That's a different person than the one who ended a relationship for a role. Ju Sang-wook and Cha Ye-yeon. Married since 2017. A daughter, both still actively working. They've found the balance between visible couple and private family, and they wear it comfortably. The spark hasn't faded in photos. The life they've built looks good. Gong Min-jung and Jung-jae Lim. They played a married couple in Marry My Husband and then got married. The K-drama writer built this relationship and didn't even know it. They've gone from co-stars to an actual family in a remarkably short window, and every public moment they've shared since looks completely natural. Lee Jang-woo and Cho Hae-won. He's been all over Variety recently, and mentioning her comes naturally every time. Not in a performed way, just the way you talk about someone who's part of your life. They enjoy each other's company, and it reads clearly. That's the whole entry. Kim So-yeon and Lee Sang-woo. Married since 2017 after meeting on Happy Home. She's intense and powerful on screen. Penthouse made that very clear, and by her own account, he's the calm she comes home to. Mutual respect as the foundation of a marriage turns out to work. Who knew? Jin Tae-hyun and Park Se-yeon. They've been through adoption and devastating losses, and they've talked about all of it publicly, honestly, without sugarcoating. That kind of openness is rare and takes real courage. Fans love them because they're not performing resilience. They're just living it. Cha Sung-won and Soo-jin. Decades together, a family built through difficult circumstances, and a consistency that has never wavered publicly. He's one of the biggest personalities in the industry. He always comes back to them. That's the story. Jung Dong-gun and Ko So-young. Married since 2010, both absolute royalty in Korean acting. They've kept their lives together relatively private, the old-school celebrity approach, and based on where they are in 2026, it's still working. Ryu Soo-young and Park Ha-sun. Married since 2017 and living what looks like an extremely pleasant life. He's become known for home cooking on variety shows. She keeps delivering in her acting career. They clearly love their kid and each other and food. The wholesomeness is not performed. It's just who they are. Nam Gong-min and Shin Ah-rum. 7 years of dating before they got married, and then he mentioned her in his award speeches, which is the kind of thing that makes an entire fandom simultaneously place their hand over their heart. He's one of the best actors in the industry right now. The devotion is clearly not just for the cameras. Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-ah. Here's how this one went. They met on a clothing commercial in 2014, went public in 2015. In 2017, he was diagnosed with nasopharyngeal cancer at 28 years old, a rare head and neck cancer with serious survival stakes. She didn't step back. She accompanied him to treatments, took time off from her own career, and became the quiet constant through 2.5 years of treatment and recovery. On the same day, they made a joint charitable donation of 300 million won, roughly $200,000, to the Hallam Burn Foundation, a San medical center, and a humanitarian aid group. No big reception, no spectacle, just a wedding invitation that featured her doodles and his calligraphy, and a giving gesture that went viral before the ceremony was over. They've donated a combined total exceeding 5 billion won across both their careers. They didn't share the screen once in 10 years of dating. None of that made the story smaller. And the next couple has a love story the entire country watched unfold in real time, even when the agencies were still pretending it wasn't happening. Lee Seung-gi and Lee Da-in. They've been through a significant amount of public noise. Her family background drew intense scrutiny, and the discourse was not always kind. They stayed firm. Married in April 2023, first daughter in early 2024, and they are now fully focused on the family they're building rather than what the internet thinks about it. He chose her, he keeps choosing her. That's the answer to every question. Lee Kwang-soo and Lee Sun-bin. She mentioned him as her ideal type on Running Man. He was sitting right there, and then it actually happened. Confirmed in 2018, still going in 2026, low-key and warm in every public mention of each other. The origin story is almost too good to be real, and yet here they are. Park Shin-hye and Choi Tae-joon. college classmates who found their way back to each other, married, and are now raising their child with the kind of deliberate privacy that comes from not wanting the internet near their family. The wedding was a moment. The life after it has been carefully, intentionally quiet. Good for them. Ji-sung and Lee Bo-young. Together since 2007, married in 2013. 2 kids, both A-list. They still send coffee trucks to each other's sets, which is the K-drama industry's most specific love language, and they have been fluent in it for years. They are what supporting each other's careers actually looks like in practice, not just in interviews. IU and Lee Jong-suk. They first met as co-MCs on In-pyo in 2012 and famously could not stand each other's Peter Pan and snowflake costumes. A decade later, they confirmed they were dating on New Year's Eve 2022, and the internet went down briefly. They're 2 of the biggest solo stars in Korean entertainment. They've managed to keep things remarkably classy and private, and they're still going strong despite an attempted breakup rumor cycle that both agencies dismissed immediately. His slow burn took 10 years, worth the wait, apparently. Hyun Bin and Son Ye-jin. Crash Landing on You filmed the love story, then they went and lived it. Both agencies denied the relationship when the grocery store photos from Los Angeles surfaced in 2019. The agencies said, just friends. Their golf instructor knew the truth the moment he watched them take lessons together. They confirmed on January 1, 2021. Married March 2022. Son born November 2022. Rain and Kim Tae-hee, a pop icon and an actress who is considered acting royalty. Married since 2017, 3 children, 2 massive individual careers still running in 2026. They have built what can only be described as an empire, and they've done it without ever making the marriage feel like a brand. It just is what it is. 2 extraordinary people who chose each other and kept choosing each other, year after year, in an industry that makes that extremely difficult. That's the #1 spot. Which couple on this list do you think has the most underrated love story? Drop it in the comments. If you want to see how some of these sparks actually started, the on-set moments, the behind-the-scenes details, go check out 18 K-drama couples who secretly fell in love on set.